Hello, dear students. Welcome back to our nios sociology class. I'm your sociology teacher, and today we are starting our chapter 1 from the sociology book 1. The chapter is called Sociology and Introduction. In this chapter, we will learn what sociology is, why it is called a science, and what it studies and why it is important in our daily life. We have 100 plus questions in front of us, and I shall go through that questions so that you can get a clear idea about the all chapter, so that you can score more than 90 plus percentage marks. Okay, let us begin. Our first question is, what is sociology? Sociology is the scientific study of society and social relationships. Second question, who is called the father of sociology? Auguste Comte is called the father of sociology. Third question, from which language is the word sociology derived? It comes from Latin word socius and Greek word logos. Fourth question, what does sociology mean? Sociology means society or companionship. Fifth question, what does logos mean? Logos means study or science. What is society? Society is a group of people living together with shared rules and relationships. Now, seventh question, is sociology a science? Yes, sociology is a social science. Eighth question, what does sociology study? Sociology studies social behavior, social institutions, and also social relationships. Ninth question, what makes sociology different from common sense? Sociology uses systematic and scientific methods. It makes sociology a more scientific subject. What type of science is sociology? Sociology is a social science. Yes, we have our next topic. It's sociology as a discipline. Yes, from this topic, we shall continue from the 11th question. Why is sociology called a scientific study? Because it uses observation, analysis, and research. 12th question, what is social behavior? Social behavior is now individuals how individuals act in our society. 13th question, what is a social institution? A social institution is an organized system like family or education. 14th question, give an example of a social institution. Family is a social institution. 15th question, is sociology a theoretical subject or a practical one? Sociology is both a theoretical subject and also a practical one. Now, 16th question, what is social interaction, or what do you mean by the term social interaction? Social interaction is the way people relate to each other, how they connect with each other. That is what is meant by social interaction. What does sociology help us to understand? It helps us to understand about our society and social problems surrounding us. 18th question, is sociology a value free subject? Of course, sociology aims to be an objective subject and a value free subject. 19th question, what is meant by objectivity? Objectivity means being unbiased and neutral. Now, our 20th question, why do we study sociology? To understand society better and improve our social life. Now, we are getting into the next topic in this chapter, that is about the scope of sociology. 21st question, what is the scope of sociology? The scope of sociology means the subject matter studied by sociology. Now we have another question. Question number 22. Does sociology study individuals alone? No, it studies individuals in social relationships. Now, 23rd question. Does sociology study social change? Yes, sociology studies social change. 24th question. What is social change? Social change is a kind of change which happens in the social structure and also the behavior of the members in the society or behavior of the society. That is what is meant by social change. 25th question. Does sociology study culture? Yes, sociology studies culture. Now, 26th question. What is culture? Culture is the way of life of people in the society. Culture is the way of life of people in the society. 27th question. Does sociology study social problems? Yes, it studies problems like poverty and inequality. 28th question. Name one social problem studied by sociology. Yes, poverty is an example of a social problem which is studied under the topic of sociology. 29th question, does sociology study rural and urban life? Yes, it studies both rural life and also urban life. 30th question, what is social structure? Social structure is the pattern of a relationship in the society. There is a logical connection or pattern of different spare parts in the society. When these pairs are connected together in a logical way, then we can say that sociology is society. In society, there is a specific structure. That is what is meant by social structure. We can compare our society or social structure to the different parts of a bicycle. Okay, the wheels, the handlebar, the seat, the pedals, mudguard, chain, brakes, everything is there in a bicycle. Likewise, there are different spare parts like legal systems, police authority, court, administrative systems, schools, religious institutions, and so many other institutions like hospitals, clubs, sports authorities, etc. In order to give the whole framework of the society. That is what is meant by social structure. Now let us move to the next topic in this chapter, that is the relationship with the other social sciences, sociology and its relationship with the other social sciences. Yes, now we are dealing with our 31st question. How is sociology related to history? Yes, history studies past events. Sociology studies present social life. Now our next question is, how is sociology related to economics? Economics studies wealth, sociology studies social relations. How is sociology related to political science? Political science studies power, sociology studies about society. How is sociology related to anthropology? Anthropology studies human cultures. Sociology studies about society. 35th question. How is sociology related to psychology? Psychology studies the mind. Sociology studies the social behavior. Psychology studies about the complicated actions which is happened in the mind of an individual, but sociology studies the social behavior of the society or social behavior of the members in the society. Which is subject studies individual behavior. Psychology studies the individual behavior, and sociology studies the collective behavior or individual's behavior, how it is affected in the social life. Which subject studies group behavior. Sociology studies the group behavior. Is sociology an independent subject? Yes, sociology is an independent discipline. Do social sciences overlap? Of course, yes. Social sciences are always interrelated and they overlap with each other. Why are social sciences connected? Because society is a complex one. Now we are moving to the next topic. It is about the importance of sociology. Why is sociology important? It helps to understand society scientifically. Now, 42nd question, how does sociology help students? It develops social awareness in the students. How does sociology help society? It helps us to solve social problems. Does sociology promote social harmony? Yes, it promotes understanding and harmony. How does sociology help democracy? It helps understand social equality and justice. Does sociology help in policy making? Yes, it helps in planning and policies of the government. Does sociology encourage critical thinking? Of course, yes, it develops analytical thinking. 48th question, how does sociology help individuals? It helps to understand one's role in the society. Now, how does sociology help in the social reformation? It supports social reformation. 50th question, can sociology reduce prejudice? Yes, by promoting our understanding, sociology can reduce prejudices in the society and also in the members from the minds of the members in the society. Next topic that we deal is sociology and our daily life. Is sociology related to daily life? Yes, it studies everyday social interactions. Give an example of sociology in daily life. Family relationships is an example of a sociology dealing or connected with our daily life. Does sociology study customs? Yes, it studies customs and traditions that is prevailing in the society. What are customs? Customs are accepted ways of behavior. What are traditions? Traditions are beliefs passed through generations. Does sociology study social norms? Yes, it studies social norms. 57th question, what are social norms? Norms are rules of behavior in our society. 58th question, does sociology study roles? Yes, it studies social roles. What is a social role? Or what do you mean by the term social role? A role is an expected behavior of an individual. Again, a role is an expected behavior of an individual. 60th question, does sociology study about social status? Yes, it studies social status. Now we are just looking at some key concepts in this chapter. What is social status? Status is the position of a person in the society. A teacher, a judge, a police inspector, etc. are some examples of social statuses. Social status means it is the position of a person in society. What is achieved status? Status earned by effort is known as achieved status. What is ascribed status? Status which is given by birth. Okay, we are born as human beings. That is the first status for we all human beings. And when a male person is born, he already got a status as male or a boy child. That is a status which he got without any personal effort from his part. So such kind of statuses are known as ascribed status. Okay, give an example of ascribed status. Caste. Caste is an example of ascribed status. Give an example of achieved status. Teacher. Teacher is an example of achieved status. What is socialization? Socialization is the learning process or social behavior. Socialization is the learning process of social behavior, how we have to deal with the, or how we have to behave in the society. That is learned from our family members, or from the parents, or from the teachers, or from the peer groups, etc. This kind of learning process is known as socialization. Who plays a major role in socialization? Family plays a major role in socialization of an individual. Does schools help in socialization? Yes, school is an agent of socialization. What are social groups? Groups are collections of interacting people. 70th question. Give an example of a social group. Family is an example of social group. Now we have a topic, sociology and social life. Does sociology study inequality? Yes, it studies social inequality. What is social inequality? Unequal distribution of resources is the main reason for social inequality. The resources in the society are distributed in such a way that some are rich and some are poor. This thing makes a kind of conflict or contradiction in the society. That is a social problem. Yeah, and there are so many social problems prevailing in the society: poverty, inequality, gender discrimination. These are some kind of social problems prevailing in the society. So social inequality is a social problem. So does sociology study caste system? Yes, it studies caste system. There are some upper caste and also some lower caste. This kind of separation is also a kind of inequality prevailing in the society. Does sociology study class system? Yes, it studies social classes. What is social class? A group based on economic status. Okay, uh, for example, capitalist class or business class, and then working class, that is mean by the class of employees. Okay, now 76th question. Does sociology study gender? Yes, it studies gender roles. 77th question. What is gender? Social roles based on sex is known as gender. Male female categorization, that is what is meant by gender. Does sociology study religion? Yes, it studies about religion. 79th question. Does sociology study education? Yes, education is a social institution. 80th question. Does sociology study family? Yes, family is a basic social institution. Now we have some conclusion part based on the questions. It starts from the 81st question. Is sociology useful for nation building? Yes, it helps to build a balanced society, and thereby we can build a strong and healthy nation. 82nd question. Does sociology promote equality? Yes, it supports equality and justice. 83rd question. Is sociology important for teachers? Yes, it helps to understand their students. 84th question. Is sociology useful for administrators? Yes, it helps in decision making. Just by studying the type of society and the behavior of the society, and so that they can formulate appropriate policies and rules. Does sociology help social workers? Yes, it guides them also in providing social service. Now we have 86th question. Does sociology help in understanding diversity? Yes, it explains cultural diversity. Can sociology predict social behavior? Yes, to some extent it can do the same. Does sociology help to reduce conflicts? Yes, through understanding the social scenario, it can solve the conflicts which is happening in the society. Is 89th question. Is sociology relevant today? Yes, it is relevant in the current topics. Sociology mainly focuses its attention in the contemporary issues. 90th question. Does sociology help in global understanding? Yes, It promotes global awareness. Now we have some revision part. Sociology studies about society. Who is the founder of sociology? Auguste Comte. Sociology is a dash science, social science. Auguste Comte was born in the year 1798. French Revolution was held in the year 1789. Henry de Saint Simon advocated for what? A positive science for the society led by industrialists and scientists. A student of Saint Simon, who coined the term sociology and proposed the theory of societal progress through stages, that is, three stages, aiming to establish social order and stability. It was Auguste Comte. Henry de Saint Simon advocated for dash, a positive science of society led by industrialists and scientists. 99th question. Family is a dash institution, social institution. 100th question. Learning social behavior is called dash, socialization. Unwritten rules of society are called norms. Position in the society is called dash. Position in the society is called status. Expected behavior in the society is called dash. Expected behavior in the society is called a role. Unequal distribution of resources is called dash. Unequal distribution of resources is a kind of inequality. Then we have the last question. Scientific study of society is called dash. Scientific study of society is called sociology. Thank you, dear students. You have to write these questions and answers into your notebook and also learn to make this by heart, and also you have to go through this video so many times so that it will help you to build a strong foundation in this subject. Once again, thank you.